everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is cheesy eggplant toast. I love using eggplant because it is such a versatile vegetable. It is super low carb and low calorie and packed with vitamins. I saw someone on Instagram make a grilled cheese with eggplant, so I thought, why not make my own version as toast? Jumping right in, we are going to prep our eggplant. All we're going to do is we're gonna chop off both ends. This is just to kind of create a flat bottom. You don't have to cut off the bottom, but I think it makes it a little bit prettier when you're actually cooking it. We are then going to slice. We're not gonna use this piece. You can always save the ends. I just like to cut it off, and then I'm gonna cook it later on in another dish. But I'm gonna cut thin slices about this thick for the eggplant. You're gonna cut as many slices as you're gonna make for toast. We're gonna take our eggplant slices, again, not the ends, just the ones that are, completely the interior flesh, not the skin, and we're gonna season them. For our seasoning, I'm gonna take some olive oil, and we're gonna drizzle some on top. I'm also gonna take some balsamic vinegar. I like to use the spray version because it kind of gives you more control when you're putting on the balsamic vinegar. And I'm gonna take a brush and just spread this on our eggplant. We're going to take some salt. This is just some coarse salt. Paprika, garlic powder, oregano. It's basically an Italian style toast, so I like to use the Italian seasonings. If you just want to use already a pre-mixed Italian seasoning, that's fine as well. I just like to control the amount of the ingredients that I'm using, which is why I use all of the seasonings separately. This is some dried basil and dried parsley. I'm gonna put a little bit more olive oil on top, and we're gonna brush all those dry ingredients into the eggplant. We're basically just moistening up the dried seasonings so that they don't completely fall off the eggplant when I pick it up. Let's flip this over and do the same thing on the other side. For all the seasonings, there isn't really a precise measurement. I just kind of sprinkle it on top until it covers the whole vegetable, just a little bit, just a thin layer. If you wanted to, you could also pre-mix the dry ingredients and the olive oil and balsamic vinegar in a separate bowl and then brush it on top. But this is just less mess, this is less stress. One less dish to also clean at the very end. I'm gonna set my eggplant aside so it can marinate for a couple of minutes while I prep the other ingredients for our toast. I am just going to slice a tomato and take off some fresh basil leaves. This basil is from my garden, so it is super fresh. I just cut it off. If you guys can do that, that is really the best way because it's so much better. It doesn't have all the pesticides on it, and you get homegrown food. Basil is one of the easiest plants to grow. And you don't even need a garden for this. I just put this on my windowsill. I have one of those windowsill pots, and it's so great. And I have endless basil because basil is so expensive to buy in the store. If you've bought basil before, you absolutely know how expensive it can get. So this is a really great way to just always have this ingredient available, and it's homegrown. My basil leaves I've just set aside so they're ready to go when we are plating our toast. And I'm going to now thinly slice the tomato, really as thin as you can get it. And I recommend using either an heirloom tomato. This is, I don't know exactly what this tomato is called, but when I go to the store, it's called tomato on the vine. Just something that's a little bit on the sweeter side. Roma tomatoes are, I don't think, sweet enough for this toast, though they're fine to use. I don't think the flavor is just as good as an heirloom or another type of sweet tomato. It's been a couple minutes, so our eggplant is marinated. About 2 to 3 minutes is good enough. The longer, the better, but 2 to 3 minutes is perfectly fine. I'm gonna heat a non-stick pan on medium-low heat, and we're gonna take some olive oil and drizzle it into the pan. To make sure the pan is fully coated, I'm just gonna take that same brush that I used before and just spread it all over the pan. And now we're ready to place our eggplant. I'm gonna place it away from you into the hot pan. We're gonna let this cook on the first side for about 2 minutes. I feel like people are also really scared of eggplant. It's kind of like one of those vegetables that nobody really knows how to cook. And if you do know how to cook it, it's hard to cook it well. So this is a really great way that if you just have no idea what to do with this vegetable, but you wanna try it, you can make this. It's super simple. There's really not that much prep for this. And I don't know if you guys remember that commercial. It was like, well, I don't want to say the brand, but it was like, stop having a boring tuna, stop having a boring life. This is stop having a boring eggplant, stop having a boring life. If you know that commercial. So let me know down in the comments if you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's been about 2 minutes. We're ready to flip the eggplant. I'm just gonna take some tongs and flip it over to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on the other side. I'm also gonna add some more olive oil to the pan, and I'm just gonna drizzle it right on top of the eggplant as well. After 2 to 3 minutes, you're gonna flip it again on the other side to cook for another 2 minutes. If you wanna see another eggplant dish, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I have an eggplant parmesan. That's a great video to watch. I'll link it down below. And also, if you haven't seen my short for my mom's famous eggplant dip, you have to check it out. I will link it down below as well. That is a great dip for the summertime. It is super, super refreshing and packed with vegetables, and you guys are gonna love that one. After 2 minutes, I flipped it again one last time for 1 minute on the final side. Our eggplant is finished, so I'm gonna take it off the pan. But I'm not turning my heat off on the pan yet. I'm gonna take a lightly toasted piece of bread, and I wanna soak up all of that delicious flavor. Now that I got it nice and hot from the pan and the olive oil, I'm gonna lower the heat on the pan to very, very, very low, the lowest setting that you can get. And you're gonna take some freshly grated mozzarella and put it on the piece of toast. We're gonna let this completely melt down. To make this melt a lot faster, I'm gonna take a lid and just cover it for about a minute or 2. We're ready to assemble our delicious cheesy toast. And first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the basil right on top of our melted mozzarella cheese. Then I'm gonna take my tomato, and lastly, we're gonna take that delicious eggplant and there you have it, delicious cheesy eggplant toast. I cannot wait for you guys to try this one. Cheers. That is so good. Really low in calorie, low in carb, keto friendly, and most importantly, delicious. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also hit that notification bell to never miss a tasty upload. Till next time.